All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is Twin Flames Unite. My baby is over here late, lighting sage.
That's right.
And if you don't know by now, I'm Chris.
And I'm Leisha.
What up? What's going on, everybody? You know, we are here to bring you practical solutions that you can apply easily, naturally, and automatically
in your everyday life, so you can tap into your unlimited potential
and rise to the highest version of yourself. All right. And if you are new to this channel, we definitely ask that you subscribe, give us that thumbs up, let YouTube know that the information we're putting out, that you like it and you want more of it.
That's right.
All right. And so, boom. So today, it's a little bit interesting. That's just a lot of interesting. It's fair. It's big interesting. Okay. We were just sitting and we were having a conversation in regards to one of the questions that one of our subscribers put out a few days ago. And in light of that question, which we're about to get to in a moment, it actually sparked one of the poems that my baby had wrote in 2017.
2017, guys. This is when I was going through my metamorphosis phase.
Yes.
And this is one of the reasons why I named the book A Moth is Also a Butterfly. Okay. I guess I was feeling like a moth.
Right.
And I'm like, hold up. The butterfly is my cousin, you know? That's my cousin. So why we get treated so different, right? And took me 2 weeks to write most of these poems. And I did not go outside. I just stayed in. I did not see the sun for 2 weeks. I stayed inside and I finished the book. I felt like I needed to finish it. And baby and I was just talking about a topic that one of our subscribers talked about the last time that we did, what was it, a premiere? We premiered the last video. And she said that, you know, she asked a question as far as
spirituality.
You know, what are our views on, you know, she called it the new age spirituality movement versus
following the word of
God, you know, the Lord, you know. And so we figured that would be a good topic of discussion, right? Like our take on it.
Yes.
And so I just pulled out my book today and I turned to one of the poems and I'm like, kind of remind me of that topic. And we wanted to read the poem for you.
Yes.
So, you know, this will be a good segue into the conversation. Okay. And then keep in mind, this is in 2017 that I wrote this. Okay.
Yes, yes. Very intuitive. My baby always tapped in. All right.
All right. So this poem is called The No Thing. And again, it's taken from the book. It's called A Moth is Also a Butterfly. And if you would like to get a copy, it is on our website. And you can also get the hard copy on the website. And we do have a few that is available, the hard copy that will actually sign for you. Okay. But you will have to request it on the website.
Yes.
Now, this poem is called The No Thing. Okay. The no thing gives birth to everything. Surrendering allows one to see into the no thing. We are all formed from the no thing into everything. Some people call it God. Others call it universe, multiverse. Either way, or what you call it, it doesn't matter because it connects us all. Surrender to the notion of knowing everything because you already do. How? Because we are all expressions of the great I am. Any and everything that you discover is just another thing you just remembered from your state of amnesia. The no thing is infinite. Having expressions outside of the no thing and becoming a part of everything gives us a chance to see us outside of us, which is infinite. I say the no thing is compassion because that is the one thing that can birth everything.
Boom. Okay.
So we will be, you gotta get the little, right?
All right. So there's just a little taste. If you don't have the book, you can go to the website. You can order either the digital copy or you can request one of the 9 hard copies that are left so that you can get yours handcrafted, designed, and autographed right from us. All right.
Again,
But boom.
Beautiful. And my baby did all the illustrations, and it is just, I don't even want to show you what it looked like before. You're just going to go with what it looks like now.
Don't worry about that. You can go back to the previous video when we premiered it.
Yeah.
But in light to that question, what are our thoughts in regards to New Age spirituality versus the Word of God? Okay. In essence, it's just the same old thing with the new name. Okay. Because spirituality, and actually to be quite honest, when you really think about it, most people are still following the Word of God, but in different forms and fashion. Because instead of looking for the power within, even the ones that are on the new spiritual journey are looking for some type of power outside of themselves.
Yeah.
Whether it's through working a ritual, whether it's through
getting the aliens to come in and save them.
The aliens, contacting the Pleiadians. And then you have those who, now I'm just speaking to the individuals that just go for constant readings one after another, okay? For those who are looking for answers outside of themselves, like going for readings, getting Reiki healing and things of that nature, they're still, in a sense, serving another God. But one of the things that we one of the things we do teach, is just a matter of whether or not somebody picking up what we're putting down, is that the power is within you. And here's the thing about New Age spirituality versus the way that our ancestors used to do it. And I'm not just talking about melanated people. I'm talking about the ones who were here on the land before everybody else, before they injected all of this different dogmas, right?
Literally injected.
Lord have mercy. Okay, but before they injected all of these new dogmas, they knew, like we know, that the power lies within us. Okay, and that seems to be the missing link. And a lot of people are not talking about that. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it, because if they do really tell people that the power lies within them, then they won't have any customers.
They'll have no customers. That's a tough one.
That's tough.
That's tough. People need customers, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep them 10% stuff going. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what happens when a group of people really realize that once upon a time, what they consider now to be the New Age spirituality movement, is actually people going back to their original state of being. It's really not new. No. There is nothing new under the sun. No. The only thing that is new is the thing that you don't know about the history.
Yep.
But there's nothing new under the sun.
No.
So when you really think about the whole, serving the Lord and doing God's work and things of that nature, versus what they would call it the modern day spirituality, it's it's so many different aspects to those two ways of being or ways of experiencing this life. It's really branched out, because then you have some people who practice spirituality, and they have their different sects within the way that they practice spirituality, and then you have religion, and then you have different sects within those religions, right? We're not really here to judge and anything like that. Someone just asked a question like, what is our take on it?
Yeah.
And for us, we're not religious at all. We practice our own spirituality, which is going within ourselves, right? And discovering who we are and how we interface and interact with the world around us. And like the poem says, this was like a download. This was this was my information that I received, you know. And it's people can put names on anything. Like, think about it. Who invented the word God? Right? Who created God? Who created these words? Where did they come from?
Yeah.
You know, you really got to ask yourself these questions.
Because you'll be quite surprised
Yeah.
if you go through and search the history and see how God got his name or
Right.
her name.
Right.
You'll be quite perplexed.
Right. It's a lot of inventions, okay? A lot of these things, you know, what you call New Age, right, is actually older than, you know, the religions. You know, if when you really go back, before they had all of these, and the religions were created for control purposes. I mean, this is not something that you need to believe, because again, sometimes we put such strong emphasis on this belief that we almost think that it's true. You know, just because you believe something, it doesn't necessarily mean that that happened or it's a fact. All it means is that you believe it. That's all it really means. You know? Sometimes it does align with what is true or what is fact, because, you know, but check it out for yourself. Go back. Religion was created, and then you have to ask yourself, who created these religions and what was the reason behind the creation of these different religions, right? Gotta ask yourself these questions, because if you don't, then you'll be lost in something that was just handed to you. You know, these things are passed down from generation to generation, and you know, people get so busy living this life, they never stop to ask a question.
You know what? That reminds me of the conversation I had with Manny, which was that because we expose our kids to facts, right? And so he was doing some studying about the gosh, why am I drawing a blank? The Christian Crusades, right? And so I pretty much let him know that the reason why the Crusades happened, which was that, you know, the whole Inquisition thing, where there were people who they considered pagans, which means that they were using nature, they were connecting with the elements to make things happen. Those Christians went after the pagans to stump them out, because they figured that if somebody else found out that there's a way that they can actually get their needs met and not have to pay tithes to somebody, they needed to take them out. And so after showing Emmanuel the history, which is their own history that they're putting out there.
That's their story now.
And so he asked the question, like, why are people still Christians? It's coming from an 8-year-old. Because he could understand that, hold on, these people talk about how they love and everything. Why are they killing people? And I was like, well, Emmanuel, well, see, what happened is that because people were so afraid of dying, because they didn't know where they were going to go after they died, they, instead of being killed, they conformed. And when they conformed, they taught their children how to conform. And after a while, the history of the Crusades just slowly went away.
Like just drizzled away, right?
And it's just like, oh, now we're, you know, the funny thing is how they say we are soldiers for the army of the Lord. So that means that you come on now. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that right there. So that's New Age spirituality. But one of the things I would definitely like to interject here is that when it comes to spirituality, if somebody is not showing you how you can empower yourself, how you can create your own reality, how you can manifest all of your needs, wants, and desires, then they are just setting you up for a whole nother religion. They may put another name on it, but they're just setting you up for a whole nother religion.
Right. Okay? So, and then you have to look at the word religion. What does religion mean? Okay. Look at the etymology of the word. And once you begin to look at these words and find out the meaning, not the one in the Webster dictionary, because that changes like how you change your drawers.
Right.
But look at the etymology of the word, the origin of the word. What was it made for? What was it meant? You know, what was it meant to convey when they first created that word? Because again, guys, these words that we speak, they were all created by someone.
Yes.
God didn't create these words.
Yeah. And you know what, just to save us the trouble, because we're not going to go too far into this, because we're not here to convince you of anything.
Right.
But we would like for you to go through and research the etymology of the word religion.
Yeah.
And just leave a comment below and tell us, what did you find when you looked up the etymology of religion?
Right, right. And if you're truly seeking, right, you're a seeker of knowledge and you're truly seeking, it's gonna call for you to put aside superstitions. It's gonna call for you to put aside those belief systems that were passed down, that were handed down. Things that you never questioned before.
Right.
Question it now. You know how, you know, the one big thing that they have is don't question God. You know, you're not allowed to question God. And when you really think about it, that is a core belief, you know. And so you're supposed to be able to ask questions. This is how you find stuff out. This is how you learn. But when you have a set of entities who don't want you to be none the wiser, of course they're going to tell you not to ask questions. Kind of like what they do now, you know, they silence you. Sounds familiar? Don't want you to ask questions. Just do as you are told. Don't ask questions.
Just take it.
Just take it. Just shut up and take it. Don't ask me any questions.
You can't work if you don't take it.
Right. It's that type of energy. It's very forceful, and it does not allow you to exercise your free will, which you supposedly have, right? Free will.
Free will.
Right? So if you have free will, then you're supposed to be able to utilize your free will to ask a question. Right? You're not trying to dismantle anything, you're just trying to ask a question.
Yeah, and if you don't vibe with it, then you should be able to just walk away and still live your life as if nothing changed.
Right. So pretty much our take on this whole spirituality and religion. Again, spirituality is not for everybody. Religion is not for everybody, right? That's the way they made it.
Right.
You know, once they decided that, hey, we need to take control, we need to have better control, let's create these tentacles. You know, the people who were born into these new tentacles, you know, they got used to it, they got accustomed to it. I mean, hey, it is what it is. And so everybody won't, because of that separation and stuff like that, everybody won't vibe to being free and to being independent, having independent thought, independent way of interfacing with nature and you know, elements and things of that nature. You're more used to, you're more drawn to what you know. Okay. Right. So you might not find yourself wanting to be, you know, you might not be curious as far as, you know, spirituality. You might be more comfortable with religion. Whatever, you know, it's not for everybody. People who have awakened or people who grew up, you know, in spirituality, I know they're not going to any religion. No. Because they, you know, once you know the truth, you know, it's kind of hard to sit. It's like knowing the truth and then trying to sit someplace and be told a lie. It just doesn't work. It don't work like that unless you just want the lie because the truth is too much. Kind of like the guy in the Matrix when he was like, I don't give two rats ass. I don't care if the steak is fake. Put my ass back in that Matrix and I'm gonna eat that fake steak. Okay. So unless it's that, unless the truth really rubbed you the wrong way and you just want to be lied to, just lie to me because I feel better. Right.
Hey, and if that's
your
free will,
that's your free will. Hey,
we respect it.
That's you. But we really think that what they call this new age religion is not religion, new age spirituality.
Freudian slip.
Right. The new age spirituality is nothing new. It is not new at all. It is actually what we once did. Yeah. Before the control came in with these systems and stuff like that. It just looks new. Yeah. It's another way of sugarcoating the okay. So
I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna get out, right? New Age spirituality. What is the old? The old is going to church, going to mass. You know, you get dressed up, suited up, and booted up.
Tithing.
You know, tithing. You know, you go in there. So that means that you don't want to do that anymore. Okay. Now, with that being said, this New Age spirituality, nobody came up with anything new. They just went back and started doing things that their ancestors did before the Inquisition.
There you go. So it's not new.
Okay.
Very old. It's actually older than religion.
It's just that people are just putting their new spin on it. It's kind of like, it's, you know what, it's a fad. Okay. It's kind of like how the Atkins diet was. You know, they promoted it as if, oh, this food is going to help you in losing weight and you're going to feel great and you're going to look great and all of this stuff. But it's just food that doesn't have sugar in it, which there's already other food out there that doesn't have a lot of sugar and calories in it.
Right. It's just popular. But you know what? I think it's a good thing because, and to a certain extent, I don't think that it would, I don't think it'll be a fad. I don't think it'll become a fad. I think the name, some of the names that they put on it, the terminologies would become a fad, like woke, that's already a fad and it's already phased out. But the actual practice, because once people really start, you know, putting the practice into play, like really meditating, really discovering who you are, you know, really coming into your power, starting to manifest your life, like how you want to live, who you want to be with, and you start seeing these tangible changes in your life, and you feel free, and you feel light, and you feel loving, and you feel compassion, and you don't have to pretend, you know. Because there is a difference. If you're actually practicing your spirituality, you wouldn't want to go back to, let's say, religion, right? Because you it gives you a sense of freedom. You set yourself free outside of those that type of confinement. Because spirituality sets you free. Right? It really does set you free. So if you're actually practicing and developing and cultivating your own spirituality, and then you teach that to your children, you know, it'll definitely enlighten the world in a different way. You know, because when you look back in the past with these religions, it's a lot of wars. A lot of people do a lot of things in the name of God. You know, Allah, whatever those, they
all in the name of a God.
All in the name of their God. Their God said, I need to do this. Their God said, I need to get rid of 1 million people. You know, you know, if you move from that to a sense of spirituality, to a sense of true divine connection within self, instead of looking outside to get some type of directions to go and destroy something, you know, that's a different take. As long as it's people are not doing it to be woke or doing it because everybody else is doing it, if they're really, you know, practicing and again cultivating their spirituality, I think this world can really move to a place with more compassion, with more love, with more unity, versus the whole "my God is better than your God" type of ideology. You know, and that's just how we look at the whole shenanigans of things.
So that's our take on it. You know, and so with that being said, I mean that's pretty much it.
That's I mean that's all we got right now, folks. We just and again, we're not bashing or, you know, things of that nature. It is what it is, and this is just how we view it, right? We prefer to be more spiritual than religious, because spirituality offers us a sense of freedom, a sense of, you know, a real true connection with the divinity within us, to really begin to come into our own sovereignty, balance, and you know, gives us more control.
Yes.
And you actually get to learn more about the here and now, and you get to learn a lot more. It's not so confined. And if you have a question, when you're practicing and cultivating your own spirituality, you're allowed to ask questions.
Oh boy, imagine that freedom. You're not criticized and what do they call it? You're not punished for asking a question.
You can ask a question. When you practice your own spirituality and stuff like that, there is true freedom, and you can ask questions. So we kind of prefer that. It might not work for everyone. Some people might just like being afraid of asking questions. It might be a thing that they got used to and they're comfortable with it. That's fine. But this is our take on it. We prefer to be spiritual versus religious.
Yes.
And if you're religious and it works for you, more power to you. Okay? Because again, it's not for everyone. Religion does work for some people. It helps to keep them at, you know, in a certain type of order and whatnot. But for us, we have kind of outgrown that phase, and we just prefer to do our own spiritual practices and cultivate ourselves, and you know, and grow and expand to our highest and greatest potential.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. All right. So that's it. We look forward to more questions. If you have another question or a topic that you want us to go into real quickly, just drop a comment, send us an email, DM us on Instagram. Y'all know how to find us. Okay? Y'all know how to find us. Go to the website. There you go. Hey, we're in the upside down world.
We're really in the upside down.
So there you go. So we're in the upside down world. You can go get your own copy.
Yes.
So that way you can get access to these beautiful, well-constructed, awesome, high vibrational poetry.
Yes, yes, yes. And I want to read this last one for you guys. You know, we want to end this nice. We want to sandwich it up real nice, you know. So I'm gonna read this one. It's called Stars. Okay. So like I said, religion might be for some people, spirituality practices might be for others, but hey, you know, at the end of the day, do what works for you.
Right.
So my poem is called Stars. Stars shine brighter apart, and the darker the night, the brighter they shine. Some people want to shine, but they're afraid of the dark. Not knowing that they are the light, so they stumble through the dark. One star ignite a spark with a little light. Now he could see in the dark. Unaware that he too can shine bright, he settled for the dim light. Contentment moved in and told the star he would never win. A star will always be a star, but when you don't know who you are, you will be ruled by the dark and you will miss your mark. Be led by faith and don't worry about what you can't see. Those borrowed eyes will take you to your destiny. Some roads are meant to be traveled alone. Some experiences are meant to ignite your light. So now when you shine bright, you will see why you needed the dark. The finest treasures in the world, gold and diamonds. To be refined, they need much pressure and heat. They are all defined one treasure at a time. Stars shine brighter apart. Don't be afraid of the dark. The dark purifies the soul and uncover gifts deep within. Don't be afraid of the dark.
Don't be afraid of the dark.
Don't be afraid. How you gonna know if your light works? Okay? Gotta test it out sometimes.
All right, y'all. We love y'all.
Love you. Peace.
Peace out.